Chapter 8, Controlled Madness. There's a point where thinking, praying, journaling, and talking don't cut it anymore. You want to go deeper. Feel something real. Break out of your normal mind. Maybe just stop hearing your own thoughts for 5 damn minutes. So you push. You meditate longer. You fast. You take mushrooms in the woods. You book a 10-day silent retreat, or lock yourself in a float tank for hours. You seek stillness, or chaos. Or both. This is controlled madness, the conscious, intentional step into altered states of mind. Sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it's terrifying. Sometimes it's healing. Sometimes it cracks something open you can't put back. This chapter is about that edge. The thin line between expansion and escape. And what it really means to cross it. The urge to break the frame. Ordinary consciousness is a cage. It filters out most of what's happening so you can function. It edits your perception to keep you safe and stable. But after a while, safe and stable can start to feel like dead and numb. So we push at the edges. We want to feel more. Understand more. Reach higher or dive deeper. We want to shatter the frame and see what's behind it. This is where altered states come in, not as entertainment, but as revolt. Against numbness. Against routine. Against the illusion that what we see is all there is. Paths to altered states. There are many doors. Psychedelics, LSD, psilocybin, ayahuasca, DMT. Tools, sacraments, shortcuts, or explosives depending on how you use them. Breath work, over-oxygenating until your mind short-circuits and something else comes online. Meditation, long enough, deep enough, and you don't just quiet the mind, you dissolve it. Fasting, sleep deprivation, extreme cold/heat, pushing the body to shift the brain. Rituals, drumming, chanting, dance, the old ways. The rhythm disrupts your normal rhythm. The trance becomes the teacher. These practices stretch perception. They pull you out of default mode. But they also open doors you might not be ready for. That's the risk and the point. Vision or delusion? Here's the big question: when you're deep in an altered state, are you seeing more clearly, or just hallucinating? The honest answer: both. Sometimes you get insight. Profound clarity. A felt sense of connection, love, presence. Sometimes you just see patterns that mean nothing. Or worse, you tap into fear, paranoia, or an inner darkness you weren't prepared for. Not all madness is medicine. The trick is knowing the difference. And that takes experience, grounding, and integration. Not every vision is a message. Not every breakdown is a breakthrough. The danger isn't in the altered state. It's in taking it too literally, or refusing to unpack it when you come back. Escaping versus expanding. There's a difference between expanding consciousness and escaping reality. The experience might look the same from the outside, but the intention is everything. If you're chasing altered states because you hate your life, your body, your past, your job, your emptiness, then the state won't save you. It might distract you. But the underlying pattern will still be there when the trip ends or the silence breaks. Controlled madness becomes dangerous when it's used to bypass integration. When the high becomes a goal instead of a catalyst. You're not meant to live in altered states. You're meant to visit, learn, and return changed. When it goes too far, every path has casualties. People who blew their minds open too fast, too recklessly, or without support. People who didn't have the psychological structure to hold what they saw. Psychosis triggered by ungrounded psychedelic use. Identity collapse from forced ego death. Dissociation from trauma mistaken for spiritual detachment. Energy awakenings that fry the nervous system. We glamorize these stories. The shaman who went mad. The mystic who disappeared. But for most people, it just means they're suffering in silence. Lost in the in-between. The madness has to be contained, not just unleashed. That's why ritual matters. Why community, mentors, and slow integration matter. You don't pour gasoline on a fire without knowing how to keep it from burning the house down. Real transformation is subtle. The most powerful shifts aren't always flashy. Sometimes the real medicine is what changes after the madness. Not the vision, but how you live the next day. Not the revelation, but what you do with it. Altered states can help you release stuck emotions. Show you a part of yourself you've hidden. Give you a glimpse of something bigger. Interrupt patterns you didn't know you were locked in. But they can't replace the work. They can't do the healing for you. They're tools, not solutions. Doors, not destinations. Closing the chapter. Controlled madness is part of the path. It humbles the ego. It cracks the mind. It can give you glimpses of beauty, truth, terror, and grace. But don't confuse the high with the healing. Don't confuse the altered state with wisdom. Use the tools. Respect the madness. But always come back. Back to your body. Back to your shadow. Back to your ordinary life, because that's where the real integration happens. In the next chapter, we step into the big question: God, simulation, or self? Who or what is behind consciousness? And does the answer even matter?